Wisdom. What is wisdom? Well, the Bible has a lot to say about wisdom, especially King Solomon. King Solomon wrote the book of Proverbs, most of it anyway, and he had much wisdom. He was full of wisdom because God gave it to him. I'm going to read a little bit from 1 Kings where God gave Solomon wisdom. I'm going to read from 1 Kings 3, 1 through 15. As David's son Solomon consolidated his administration, the Lord his God was with him to make him very successful. Solomon addressed the entire nation of Israel, including the commanders of thousands and hundreds, the judges, all the other leaders of Israel, and all the heads of the ancestral houses of Israel. Solomon, along with the whole assembly with him, met at the high place in Gibeon, because that's where God's tent of meeting, that the Lord's servant Moses had constructed in the wilderness, was located. Nevertheless, David had brought the ark of God from Kiriath Jearim to the place that David had prepared for it, after having erected a tent for it in Jerusalem. Also the bronze altar that Uri's son Bezalel, Hur's grandson, had erected, was in place in front of the Lord's tent. Solomon and the assembly sought the Lord there. Solomon approached the presence of the Lord at the bronze altar that had been placed at the tent of meeting and offered 1,000 burnt offerings on it. That very night God appeared to Solomon and told him, "Ask what I am to give you." Solomon replied to God, "You showed great gracious love to my father David, and have established me as king in his place. Now, Lord God, your promise to my father David is fulfilled, because you have made me king over a people as numerous as the dust of the earth. Give me wisdom now, so I may go in and out among this people, because who can rule this great people that belongs to you?" God told Solomon, "Since you had this in mind, to ask neither to focus on riches, wealth, honor, or the lives of those who hate you, nor have you requested a long life, but instead you have asked for wisdom and knowledge for yourself, so that you may rule my people, over whom I have established you as king. Wisdom and knowledge has been granted to you. Furthermore, I will give you riches, wealth, and honor, such as none of the kings owned who live before you, and none after you are to ever attain their equal." So then Solomon not only obtained what he asked for, and that was great wisdom, but he also received great riches and wealth and honor. He wrote the book of Proverbs, much of it. And much like the book of James says in James 1 verse 5, "Now if any of you lacks wisdom, he should ask God, who gives to everyone generously without a rebuke, and it will be given to him. But he must ask in faith, without any doubts, for the one who has doubts is like a wave of the sea that is driven and tossed by the wind. Such a person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. He is a double-minded man, unstable in all his undertaking." So then Solomon, he did not doubt. He did not doubt that God would give him wisdom. James wrote this in the book that most people believe was James, the brother of Jesus. And he knew Jesus because he also knew that Jesus was wise. Now, one of the Proverbs that Solomon wrote was Proverbs 16, and I want to read that to you. It speaks about wisdom, the blessings of wisdom. I'll bring that up for you here. Okay, make this wider for you. Wisdom's blessings. People do the planning, but the end result is from the Lord. Everything a person does seems pure in his own opinion, but the Lord weighs intentions. Entrust your work to the Lord, and your planning will succeed. The Lord made everything answerable to him, including the wicked at the time of trouble. The Lord detests those who are proud. Truly they will not go unpunished. Iniquity is atoned for by gracious love and truth, and through fear of the Lord people turn from evil. When a person's ways please the Lord, even his enemies will be at peace with him. A little gain with righteousness is better than great income without justice. A person plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. When a king is ready to speak officially, what he says should not err with the respect of justice. Honest scales and balances are from the Lord. He made all the weights in the bag. Kings detest wrongdoing, for through righteousness the throne is established. Kings take pleasure in righteous speech. They treasure a person who speaks what is upright. The king's wrath results in a death sentence, but whoever is wise will appease him. When a king is pleased, there is life, and his favor is like a cloud that brings spring rain. How much better than gaining gold is the acquisition of wisdom, the attainment of wisdom, better than silver. The road of the upright circumvents evil, and whoever watches how he lives preserves his life. Pride precedes destruction. An arrogant spirit appears before a fall. Better to be humble among the poor than to share what is stolen with the proud. Whoever listens to a word of instruction prospers, and anyone who trusts in the Lord is blessed. The wise-hearted person is told to be discerning, and that pleasant speech promotes instruction. Anyone who has understanding is a fountain of life, but foolishness brings punishment to fools. A wise person's thoughts control his words, and his speech promotes instruction. Pleasant words are honey from a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing for the body. There is a road that seems right for a man to travel, but in the end it's the road to death. The appetite of the laborer motivates him. Indeed, his hunger drives him on. A worthless person concocts evil gossip. His lips are like a burning fire. A deceitful man stirs dissension, and anyone who gossips separates friends. A violent man entices his companion and leads him on a path that is not good. Whoever winks knowingly is plotting deceit, and who pursues his lips is bent towards evil. Gray hair is a crown of glory. It is obtained by following a righteous path. Whoever controls his temper is better than a warrior, and anyone who has control of his spirit is better than someone who captures a city. The dice is cast into someone's lap, but the outcome is from the Lord. Ask God for wisdom today, and he'll grant it to you. Ask without doubting, and he will grant wisdom to you. And remember, God is on the throne, and prayer changes things.